What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of Down South Up North. Happy Friday, everyone. Hope everyone had a good day today. Matt, how we doing?
It's good, dude. A lot of stuff to talk about NFL draft wise, so I'm anxious to get into it.
A lot of stuff to get to. I'm pretty heated right now, so let's just get straight into the athletic alert. All right. As all of you know, the NFL draft round one was last night. And me and Matt maybe got 5 picks right in total. It was crazy. The first four, everyone knew it was gonna be Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison. Everyone knew that. But then at 5,
Ooh.
I had Malik Neighbors, bang, Joe Alt. And then you go farther down the list, and my Falcons, Atlanta Falcons, number 8. I'm sitting there watching the draft. I'm like, ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Dallas Turner, come on home.
No defensive players were taken yet. So I'm sitting there rubbing my hands. Near them licking my lips, looking at that damn draft board. I'm thinking, dude, we can pick whoever. Quinyon Mitchell, Dallas Turner, Jared Verse, Byron Murphy. We could pick whoever we want. And I'm sitting there, and I see the man, the commissioner, Roger Goodell, get up to the stand and goes, the Atlanta Falcons, with their number 8 pick, select Michael Penix Jr., quarterback, Washington University. And I was very surprised. I don't think I said a word for probably a good 2 to 3 minutes. I sat there and was just thinking, why? Fast forward to a couple episodes ago, Matt said it himself. He said, Kyle, Falcons get the 8th pick. What do they do here? Do they go offense? And I said, dude, they're fucking crazy if they go offense. And Matt was still saying, well, don't push it out just yet. They could still do it. And I was like, Matt, there's no way, because you get Kirk Cousins for 4 years, 100 mil guaranteed. You get all these players. You got to go defense. Defense needs the most help, and they somehow go Michael Penix Jr. And after the draft, of course, I think all GMs hold a little press conference. And the question arises, what the fuck were you thinking picking Michael Penix at 8, Raheem Morris? And he was just like, well, we're thinking about the future here. We're talking about the future. The future? Michael Penix is 26, 27 years old. He's played 6 years of college football, and he's injury prone. Not only to mention our starting quarterback is 36, 37, and just came off a Achilles tear.
Yeah.
So think about this. Michael Penix might not see the field till he's 30 years old. Yeah, he's going to be 30 when he finally sees the field. And your response to that is, we're thinking about the future. Dallas Turner is your future. Jared Verse is your future. Byron Murphy Jr. is your future, not Michael Penix. Again, I'm not a fucking professional here, so I don't know. My opinions means jack shit to them. But in 2021, you go Kyle Pitts. 2022, you go Drake London. 2023, you go Bijan Robinson. That is 4 straight skill position pickups.
And they got Ritter.
Ritter too.
He was in 2023.
Yeah, he was like 4th round or some shit. I don't want to talk about him right now. Like, what the fuck are you thinking? What are you thinking?
I don't know.
All those players were on the board.
Yeah. I don't know who was more surprised, me, you, or Michael Penix Jr. himself. He's probably sitting there, he was with his family members, and he's just on the phone. Obviously he's happy, right? He's got drafted top 10, and, I don't think anybody expected that, but it doesn't make any sense to me. You just signed Kirk to 4 years. 4 years. And this guy is already the oldest quarterback in the draft, I believe. Now, look, the last time you guys drafted a left-handed quarterback was 24 years ago, Michael Vick. But that was a completely different situation, right? Like,
yeah,
he was electrifying out of Virginia Tech. Like, he was probably the best quarterback in that draft class. Besides, what was he, 2000? Probably the best quarterback in the draft, regardless.
Yeah, and he went, number 1?
Well, one of the most electrifying players we've ever seen, but it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, he's probably sitting there, he's got drafted top 10, and, he's got all these players. by no means is Michael Penix close to what Michael Vick was. Uh, and for you guys, I'm with you, dude. Like I'm sitting here trying to think of like what logical reason they were to take him, but you have Kirk for 4 years and you're paying what $186 million for him.
Yeah, and you draft another quarterback at 8.
When there was there was
At 8.
there was
dude.
it was all defense. You had the entire defensive draft class in front of you, and you continue with an offensive player. Now I know Raheem Morris has close ties with Michael, but still, it makes no sense. And then
I don't give a shit if that's his son, dude. You don't draft a quarterback at 8 when you pick up a quarterback for $180 million for 4 years. You just don't do it. Like Dallas Turner, I was reading, like, yes, he has some character issues, and yes, I'm not going to say he's a dirty player, but I have seen some plays of him, like, after the play is obviously dead, he's pushing players' face in the dirt. He's kind of cheap hits, shit like that. So I'm like, hey, Dallas Turner, that's my guy. I want him at 8, but if you think he's a character issue, that's okay. Jared Verse. He's a 2-time All-American. Like, come on. He's a very good edge threat, and that's what we need. And you pass up on him, and I'm thinking Byron Murphy, stud out of Texas, another D tackle. We need help. Nope, you go quarterback. So again, I'm not a professional. There's a reason why I'm not the GM of the Atlanta Falcons, but I'm glad everyone else in the Atlanta community is feeling the same way. Well, actually, I'm seeing two sides. People are absolutely loving this move, and there's people that are fucking hating this. And I'm with this side. I'm hating this move. It doesn't make any sense. But I will say, before the draft, I'm a very superstitious guy. And Michael Vick ruined this organization when he got convicted of dogfighting. To reverse that Michael Vick curse, we have to draft a black left-handed quarterback.
Also named Michael.
But at number 8.
Right.
Number 8, I guess they were feeling threatened. Well, they wouldn't have known because Vikings go up one spot. They draft JJ, and then Denver's left with Bo.
And I think JJ was a lock to the Vikings.
I think he was.
Like if the Vikings had the choice between JJ or Penix, I guess they might have gone Penix. But if you're the Falcons, why are you worried about other teams? Like, the Vikings aren't in your division. Raiders also need a quarterback. Like 6 quarterbacks were taken last night. I don't think Penix would have been taken in the first round if Atlanta didn't take him. I really don't. And if I'm the Falcons, even if you go offense, and look, we'll get into that in a second, how many offensive players were taken last night. But out of all the positions on offense, that's the position you're going to go. You're not going to go offensive line. I know you wanted Dallas Turner. I know Falcons need a better defense. Raheem Morris is a defensive-minded coach. So it's like, that's even more of a shock to me. Yeah. But the fact that they go quarterback out of every position on offense was wildly bizarre to me. Because you go offensive lineman, I don't think you would have been that pissed off if you took an offensive lineman. And there were good offensive linemen in this draft. Hey, get somebody to protect Kirk, who just, lost his leg last year. But out of all the positions, man, you even if you went running back, as a second threat with Bijan or another receiver.
Okay, running back, I would have been as mad as the Penix pickup.
Well, to be fair, this is not a loaded running back class either.
It's not, but we already have our 1-2 punch with Algier and
That's true.
Bijan.
That's true.
So we don't need a running back.
But even if you go receiver,
I'm fine with that because Drake London, people are like, hey, you gave him 2 years. He kind of struggles getting separation. He doesn't have that lightning speed. But we pick up Rondale Moore. We pick up Darnell Mooney. We pick up fast guys. So I don't see the need for getting a wide receiver, but if Malik Neighbor somehow fell to us
Right.
or any of those guys, I'm happy. I'm like, hey, I don't hate that. You give another weapon to Kirko, but you draft a quarterback, and then Kirko comes out and he's frustrated, he's upset, he's like the rest of Atlanta Falcons nation. Like, what the fuck? Why? And you don't let me know either. You don't contact me beforehand and say, hey, Kirko, I know you just made a shit ton of money with this, but by the way, we're gonna draft a quarterback at 8. We're in our Green Bay Packers bag right now. Our quarterback's telling us what we need, and we're going the complete opposite direction of what he says.
Yeah.
That makes 0 sense to me, dude. 0 cents. I hope in the 2nd and 3rd and 4th round, Atlanta could finally wake up and just be like, wow, guys, we really just wasted our first-round draft pick on a quarterback. All right, let's go pick up Lad McConkey. Let's go pick up Bullard, the safety from Georgia. Let's go get these players so we can make up for the fucking disastrous first round that we had.
Yeah. Well, let's move on from the Falcons. Last night, a total of 23 offensive players were taken in the first round, 6 of them being quarterbacks. But it was 14 players in a row from offense being taken. Like you said earlier, we knew 3 quarterbacks were going first. We knew Marvin Harrison Jr. was going to follow the Cardinals. But what do you make of 14 players in a row on offense? I mean, we knew it was going to be an offensive draft. But for a league that's already has a ton of stars, like, is it just more star power?
I guess. I mean, I'm also really confused at this. You have, I think the last player taken offensive was Brock Bowers, and then the Colts ended the streak. But I guess all these teams just want to load up on offense and just score all the points and just have their defense cruise on by. Like, I'm really confused at this, to be honest.
I mean, offense scores points, and we are in the age of.
That's true, but defense wins championships.
Right. Like, and I think teams are like, well, we kind of need to put more. We just need to outscore. I think that's the new philosophy. We need to outscore. Look at teams like the Chiefs, man. I mean, Chiefs, they just robbed the living shit out of Buffalo last night again. Like, as if they don't do enough damage in the regular season, they kill them in the offseason too. If you're Buffalo, I understand the move. You're trying to get rid of guys. You're trying to clear off your contracts, your salary caps. But to give Kansas City another weapon on offense, Xavier Worthy, who is an extremely fast wide receiver, like, that's just Patrick Mahomes sitting back. It's like, oh, I'm going to win my 3rd Super Bowl in a row this year. But
you know what's crazy is he picked up Goodwin in the offseason too.
Right.
It was Brown, right? Marquez Brown?
Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood Brown.
But at the end of the day, I think now the reason all these offensive players are going is because if you're a GM, if you're a coach, if you're a player, you're thinking to yourself, the only way I'm going to beat the Chiefs is by outscoring them. Look at the San Francisco 49ers of last year. One of the best defenses in football, if not the best defense in football. You have Fred Warner. You have Dre Greenlaw, who got hurt running out in the Super Bowl, but still a lot great defender. Nick Bosa. Like, Hufanga is going to come back next year. This is a great defense. And how did they lose last year? They lost to a better offense. So I think teams, yes, is defense great? Do they win championships? Yes, that has been the story of the old. But in today's age, you have to keep up with everybody else. And I think the Chiefs have kind of ruined that for all of us. But in a year like this year, which is wide receiver and offensive heavy, I think teams were just taking advantage of that and kind of second-guessing all these defenders out of college. But who knows? 2nd and 3rd round, even 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th. I mean, we've seen stars come out of those rounds. But even 2nd and 3rd rounds, I feel like that's a big running back, linebacker, secondary position. I think those 3 groups and categories are the biggest in those rounds. But, hey, 23 out of 32 teams, or 32 picks, rather, took an offensive player. I think that's a pretty interesting fact, and I think the Chiefs have a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much said everything that I was gonna say. The Chiefs, great offense, have a pretty or had a good offseason, picked up a speedster, and everyone else in the league is thinking, damn, what like look 49ers, great defense, just yeah, lost to a better offense. So everyone's thinking, all right, we're gonna spice things up. Like the Raiders, they pick up a tight end when they already have Michael Myers. So they're gonna run a two tight end set. Like
Probably
that's
gonna
different.
probably gonna see a lot of I formation, a lot of single back formation out of them, running those two tight ends on the right or left side,
Mm-hmm.
which is interesting because a lot of teams run shotgun.
Yeah, so all these teams are just thinking, all right, like who's just going to be the number one guy off the board that's actually going to help us offensively and win football games. So, yeah, first time in NFL history, 14 or the first 14 picks were offense. And even some of the defensive players, I mean, the only person I didn't think that was getting drafted in the first round was Darius Robinson, but he got picked by the Cardinals. Like, let's just talk about the Vikings for a second. They had a great draft, I think.
Oh yeah.
Vikings had a great draft. The Bears, bro, like Lions, watch out. You got a new competitor in the NFC North. So
No,
a lot.
I think the NFC North is going to be the most competitive division going into next year. Very young. You got two now. You have two rookie quarterbacks. Jordan Love, who's pretty old. I mean, Jared Goff is the vet, which he was last year as well, but he's the most experienced in that division. Lions are a great team. Packers made it far when nobody really expected them to. And I don't know. If I'm Justin Jefferson, you're going into a huge, huge season where, he's going to be breaking the bank based upon J.J. McCarthy's performance. You had Kirk Cousins, now you have J.J. McCarthy. He's an extraordinary wide receiver as it is, but it's going to be a lot of pressure on J.J. McCarthy to continue to take this team because last year was not a great year for Minnesota, but obviously when your quarterback goes down, it's very hard to win. But going into this year,
Yeah.
they're making plays, they're making moves, and I think the NFC North has a lot of damage to do going into the 2024 NFL season.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Bears pick up Caleb Williams and Roma Dunze. Now they have a three-headed monster. You have Keenan Allen, you have Roma Dunze, and you have DJ Moore and DeAndre Swift and Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Like that offense is going to be super fun to watch. Drake May, the Patriots. Best of luck to you, buddy. That's going to be a pretty shitty situation, I think.
Coach Bill Belichick says he thinks he's a little bit too confident comparing himself to Josh Allen, but I don't know. Josh Allen's really good, but he also wasn't as hyped up about himself in the 2017 draft, I believe he was taken. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But speaking of the NFC North, it was held in Detroit, and Detroit is in serious likelihood to break the all-time NFL draft attendance record. So before last night, 2019 in Nashville, over 200,000 plus people attended that draft on the first night. Last night, 275,000 people were in Detroit watching the draft. In person, we're talking. Like, they're attending this draft in person, breaking it by a little over 70,000. So, the all-time record is 600,000, and they got almost half last night. What does that tell us about the city of Detroit, and how much of an impact do you think the Lions season last year had on this?
The Lions, like I watch a lot of MMG, and he's a huge Lions fan. Like, bro, they have been through the ringer. 0 and
Yeah.
16 season. You don't win a football game.
Yeah.
That is rough, dude. I mean, I hope none of y'all ever have to experience that. I thank God haven't, but that's really tough, dude. Every Sunday you're losing. They go through it. You get Matt Stafford, number one overall. You have a very great run with him, but then it's like, hey, if if you love something, you let it go. And they let him go to LA in his first year. He wins a Super Bowl. So you're clapping for him. You're like, hey, I love that, but it stings. And then you almost make the playoffs the next year, but you eliminate Green Bay. So that's probably a good feeling. Now you're in the NFC Championship this past year. You blow a lead. So Detroit, dude, they're just like blue-collared, hard-working football fans that are just like, dude, they're gritty. Like they have high motors, dude. They love their football team, the Detroit Lions, man. So when it was announced that the NFL draft was coming to Detroit, everyone was going. Everyone was going. And like you said, broke the attendance record, 275,000 people. I was seeing videos and I was watching a little bit of the Pat McAfee show. Like, it looked like a concert, dude. It just looked like a big mosh pit in there.
And it usually is, but I just think for a city that's been through so much. But then also, you got Barry Sanders up there introducing himself at the start of the draft. Eminem, that's huge for the music industry.
Yeah,
and then I was surprised to see Calvin Johnson, even though he said about 3 words when he had the microphone. But I was like, damn, that's pretty cool. You know, you got 3 legends of the city of Detroit, up there. I think it was just great. I think it was great overall. And then, of course, Roger Goodell gets booed, but
that's every commissioner, though.
That's why we watch, right?
Oh, of course. That's why we watch. Detroit, dude, you're a great city. Hopefully, you guys show out for rounds 2 and 3 and break that record. That's going to be awesome to watch. But, Matt, this was a good episode, huh?
Yeah, a lot of all NFL, but that's really the biggest thing. I mean, NBA playoffs are going on as well, but draft, man. As soon as that number 8 overall pick happened, I was like, wow, we got some good stuff to dive into today. Yeah, absolutely, great stuff. Great conversation.
Yeah, I love today's episode. I finally got some of that negative energy out of my body talking about the number 8 pick. So Raheem Morris or Arthur Blank or any of the guys in the front office, if you're watching, please go get a CAT scan or something. Get your brain checked because, my God, you need it. But, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode of Down South Up North. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, comment down below. What was your reaction to the number 8 pick? What was your favorite pick? How well did your team do in the draft? Please comment down below. And if you got any cool segments or ideas you want me and Matt to do, also comment down below. Make sure to show love to all the social media, TikTok, Instagram. We're posting YouTube shorts. So show some love to that. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good weekend. We'll catch you Monday.
Peace.